Welcome to the Smartacus Quiz 2022, the Hindustan Times National Interschool Quiz. Today, we are in the South Zone with another set of enthusiastic teams. Our teams today are Nagal Vidya Bhavan from Ernakulam and Petit Seminaire Higher Secondary School from Puducherry. Let's meet the team from Nagal Vidya Bhavan.
I am Rishi Somanjana from class 5B. My hobbies are traveling, baking, and reading books.
My name is Eva Mariam. I am studying in class 8. I am mostly interested in hearing music.
Myself, Neha Jobi from class 8, and I am interested in art music.
Let's now meet the team from Petit Seminaire Higher Secondary School, Puducherry, with their captain, Ishwar.
Hi, I'm Ishwar Balaji of grade 12 from Petit Seminaire Higher Secondary School. I'm always interested in playing football.
Hello, I am Preetham from 9th G. My hobby is collecting stamps.
Hello everyone, I am Shamindran of grade 9 from Hindustan High Secondary School. My hobbies are playing cricket, reading newspaper and other articles, not to mention quizzing.
Welcome to Smartacus and let's play Smartacus. Petit Seminaire won the toss and elected to put Nagal into bat. So Nagal Vidya Bhavan is going to start first. Rishi, which topic would you like to try?
I would like to try Islamic architecture.
Rishi is going to try Islamic architecture. And here is your first question, Rishi. The Sultan Ahmed Mosque in Istanbul is regarded as one of the greatest examples of Islamic architecture. Is generally known by what evocative name in English? I'm just looking for one word, and if you look at the picture of the mosque and what is very distinctive about it, you will get your answer.
Blue mosque.
Absolutely right, yes. And Rishi, you picked up that clue very well. It is the blue mosque, and you earned 2 points for your team. Let's move on to your second question. What name for the tower of a mosque from where the faithful are called to prayer comes from the Arabic for beacon or lighthouse? Your 30 seconds starts now.
Minaret.
Minaret, okay, and 19 seconds, and Rishi is off, and he's made a little note of it also there. Let's take a look at the answer. Yes, minaret is what we are looking for, or minaret as they pronounce it in English. Good answering, Rishi. You got both your answers right. And that's 4 points up on the board for Nagal Vidya Bhavan. Let's go to the youngest member of Petit Seminaire, who is Preetham. Preetham, your choice now.
Sir, I will choose history.
You're going to choose history. These are phrases from military action. Here's your first question, Preetham. Which English phrase meaning taken an action that means a point of no return comes from the historical act seen in the image when Julius Caesar advanced with his army across a key river that formed the northern boundary of Rome? As you can see, he is advancing across a river where he was not supposed to. So that's how you get the phrase taking an action that means a point of no return.
To be in deep water.
To be in deep water, that's a good guess actually, but that's not the answer we are looking for, Preetham. The question passes to any of the other two members in Petit Seminaire. Would Shamindran or Ishwar like to try? You can put up your fingers if you want to, and Ishwar is the captain. He can decide whether he wants to go for it or Shamindran can go for it. Would you like to try, or will Shamindran try?
Shamindran will try, sir.
Shamindran is going to try it. Okay, go ahead, Shamindran.
Is it crossing the Rubicon?
This is crossing the Rubicon. And what is the Rubicon, Shamindran?
Meaning a river or something else.
That is the name of the river
River, yeah.
Julius Caesar is crossing.
Crossing.
Let's take a look at the answer there. That's well answered and saved by Shamindran. You get 1 point as a bonus for your team, Petit Seminaire. It's crossing the Rubicon. The Rubicon was a river that if you crossed it, it meant it was an act of war, a hostile act. And once you cross it, that means you're committed to fight. Okay, Rome considered that. So no one was supposed to cross the Rubicon without permission. Julius Caesar did just that. He just crossed it, caused the fighting that ensued, and eventually, of course, he became the ruler of Rome. Okay, so a point of no return means crossing the Rubicon. Here is your second question, Preetham. On April 2nd, 1801, Admiral Nelson ignored an order from his commanding Admiral Sir Hyde Parker to withdraw from the Battle of Copenhagen, being fought against France. What phrase meaning to pretend not to notice did his action give to the English language? So there is a phrase meaning to pretend not to notice. What was that phrase? If you remember, Lord Nelson very famously had only one seeing eye.
Wear an eye patch.
Okay, Preetham says to wear an eye patch. That's a good guess, actually, and not quite the answer that we're looking for. Again, passing to the other two members in your team, Shamindran and Ishwar. It's a very popular phrase when you're ignoring something which you can see it's there in front of you, but you're pretending not to notice it. You have about 9 seconds left.
Amindran, do you have an idea?
Okay. Question is passing now to Negal Vidya Bhavan. Negal Vidya Bhavan, would you like to try this question?
I would like to try the question.
Okay, Rishi is going to try the question. Go ahead, Rishi.
Turning a blind eye.
Turning a blind eye is absolutely right, Rishi. Well done for you. So what Lord Nelson did was he just put his telescope to his blind eye and he said, I really do not see the signal to withdraw. So that's how you get the phrase turning a blind eye. A 1-point steal made by Negal Vidya Bhavan. Back to Negal Vidya Bhavan for the second player. Elba, choose a topic.
Sir, I need movies.
Elba is going to go for movies and the Star Wars franchise. Okay, let's take a look at your first question, Elba. What 5-letter name is given to the fictional robots powered with artificial intelligence in the Star Wars franchise? One example, called C-3PO, appears in all 9 main Star Wars films and in Rogue One. I'll give you a hint. You just remove an article from what powers many smartphones and you'll get your answer.
I'm not sure, but I asking Terry.
No, that's not the answer. Going to the other 2 members in your team, Rishi or Neha, would you like to try? I can't hear anyone. So are you going to pass, Captain Rishi?
Pass to Neha.
Neha, we want to make a guess. No minus points at all.
No, I have no idea.
You have no idea. Okay, Negal Vidya Bhavan is passing the question. Here is an opportunity for Petit Seminaire to steal a valuable 1 point. Ishwar Shamindran has 5 fingers raised up.
Is it droid? D-R-O-I-D. Android, so removing
Well
A.
done. You worked out the clue beautifully, Shamindran. Android minus an, which is an article in English, and you get the word droid, D-R-O-I-D. So the answer is droid. Hint was Android minus an is equal to droid. A well-earned steal by Shamindran. Beautifully answered there. 1 point to Petit Seminaire for that. Let's go back to the grid for the second questions of the Star Wars franchise to Elba. Samuel L. Jackson starred in the 3 Star Wars prequels about Darth Vader's origin story. His character, Mace Windu, stood out in the trilogy because he was the first and only Jedi to have a blank lightsaber. I want you to fill in that blank with the name of a color most often associated with rarity, royalty, magic, mystery, and piety. Piety means holiness. Okay. Which color was this?
White.
Are you going to say white? No, it's not white. We purposely made that image black and white so that you can't make out what color it is. Okay, it's not white. Passing to the other members in your team.
Is it purple?
Is it purple, says Rishi? Why do you say purple?
Because it often is associated with magic.
Okay, purple is often associated with magic, and I can tell you purple is also associated with royalty, and the answer happens to be purple. Well done. Here is a color photograph of that same picture with Mace Windu holding a purple lightsaber. A good save there by Rishi. 1 point to your team. And next, back to the grid. Tamindran, what is the topic that you're choosing?
I'm picking vaccine.
You're going to pick vaccines. Okay, let's take a look at vaccines for Shamindran. Your first question is this. Often said to be the world's first vaccine against a contagious disease, Edward Jenner demonstrated in 1796 that a vaccine could be used to fight which disease? WHO certified the global eradication of this disease in 1980, making it the only human disease to be eradicated.
Smallpox.
Your smallpox, says Shamindran, and the clock had barely started, and he is absolutely right. It was smallpox, and Edward Jenner had discovered that milkmaids did not catch the disease because they already had cowpox, which was a milder variation of smallpox. And so they had antibodies against cowpox, which also works against smallpox. So he discovered that we could vaccinate people, and that's how vaccination came to be. And smallpox is a virus, and it's the only one that's been totally eradicated from the world. Well done, Shamindran. 2 points to you for that. Here is your next question on vaccines. The Bacillus calmette-guerin, or BCG, is a vaccine primarily used against which disease? This potentially serious bacterial disease mainly affects the lungs, and symptoms usually include a cough, sometimes blood tinge, weight loss, etc.
Is it tuberculosis?
Is it tuberculosis, says Shamindran a little doubtfully. And let me put you out of your agony, Shamindran, and your doubt. Yes, it is tuberculosis. Well done. Tuberculosis is a bacterial disease and one of the commonest infectious diseases in India. And you get 2 points for that as well. Moving on to our final player, Neha from Negal Vidya Bhavan, Ernakulam. Neha, which topic would you like?
Authors.
Neha is going in for authors under literature, and here is the first of your 2 questions on authors. Featuring a statue of a man escaping his grave, the tomb of which world-famous French writer contrasts with the title of his 1864 classic science fiction adventure novel. He is famous for adventure classics about a journey in an underwater ship, traveling around the world, an expedition to Earth's core, etc. Your time starts now. Which famous French writer is this? Wrote a lot of adventure, science fiction novels, many of which have been made into films. Your time is up, Neha. Would you like to make a guess? Name any author. If you don't know, just make a guess.
No, sir.
You're passing?
Yes.
Okay, Neha passes to her team, which is Rishi and Elba.
Jules Verne.
Jules Verne, says Rishi. Can you name any of the novels of Jules Verne that you might have seen or read?
Journey to the center of the earth.
Yeah, and it looks as if Jules Verne is coming out of the center of the earth. And that's why the question is at contrast with the title of his 1864 classic novel. That is indeed Jules Verne, Rishi, and you save 1 point valuable on the pass for your team. Here is the next question on literature for you, Neha. His latest book is a co-written standalone novel called The Sun and the Star. However, he is more famous for having created a series of 5 fantasy novels set in a world with Greek gods in the 21st century and follows a hyperactive, dyslexic young demigod protagonist who must prevent the Titans led by Kronos from destroying the world. What is this author's name? Very famous set of films also featuring this young boy who happens to be the son of a Greek god. Can you remember the name of the author? Okay, your time is up, Neha. Any guesses?
No, sir.
No. Okay. Neha very shyly apologizes and says she doesn't know the answer. Question passing to any of the other two members of Negal Vidya Bhavan, Rishi or
Can I
Eva.
answer?
Yes, please.
Rick Riordan.
Rick Riordan says Rishi, and Shamindran is clutching his head in frustration because he had the answer as well. But 1 point to Rishi and Negal Vidya Bhavan for that. It is indeed Rick Riordan, and the character, the young boy that you see there, is Percy Jackson. That is the answer. Our final member playing today as an individual is Ishwar, who is the captain of Petit Seminaire Puducherry. Ishwar, what's the topic of your choice?
The religious celebrations.
Religious celebrations, and here is your first question. Celebrating Jesus' arrival in Jerusalem riding a donkey just days before he was crucified, the term blank Sunday is used for the Sunday before Good Friday. The day is celebrated by the blessing and distribution of blank branches, representing those scattered in front of Christ as he rode into Jerusalem. Fill in both the blanks with the same word, a type of very useful tree.
Sir, is it Easter?
Now, I said it's a very useful tree. It's a short word, as you can see there.
The pass.
Okay, Ishwar is passing. Okay, Shamindran has 5 fingers up. Go ahead, Shamindran.
Is it holy? Holy Sunday and holy branches.
No, it's not holy. That's not the word. So it was not Easter. It was not holy. Passing to Negal Vidya Bhavan.
Is it palm?
Is
Palm
it
Sunday,
palm,
palm
says
branches.
Rishi Somanjana, and Shamindran is holding his head once again. What do you think, Shamindran? Was that right?
Seen in my school diary as Palm
Ah,
Sunday.
yes.
It's a holiday.
It's there in your school diary and it was a holiday, but you just forgot that name. Doesn't matter. There are other opportunities in this quiz. Rishi, well done. You got a valuable 1 point steal of Petit Seminaire, giving your team 1 point. It is Palm Sunday, which is the Sunday before Good Friday. And the Sunday after Good Friday is Easter Sunday. So that is Easter Sunday, Ishwar. Here is your second question on religious celebrations. During Thaipusam, thousands of devotees visit the shrine dedicated to Lord Murugan at the popular Batu Caves in Gombak district in which Southeast Asian country?
Malaysia.
Malaysia, says Ishwar, and let's take a look at that answer. Malaysia has a large amount of South Indian Tamil population, and absolutely right. It is the Batu Caves in Selangor, Malaysia. Well done, Ishwar. That's 2 points to you. So now we are left with only 2 topics on the board. And from now on, teams, you're going to play as a team. So you can unmute yourselves and discuss the answer. Okay. Before that, let's take a look at the scores. At the end of the individual rounds of this game in Spartacus Quiz 2022, the scores are these. Negal Vidya Bhavan on 9 points, and just 1 point behind them on 8 points is Petit Seminaire. So this is a cracker of a game. Anything can happen going forward. We have about 5 questions for each team left out, going into play into the second part of this quiz, the team round. In this round, each team can discuss questions and answer and play together as a team. As you can see, both teams, there is one specialist topic for each of you left. And I'm going to ask Negal Vidya Bhavan to pick a topic. We have geography, in which the topic is Afghanistan, and we have sporting deceptions under sports. Which one would you like?
Geography.
Captain Rishi says he's going to go with Afghanistan under geography. Here is your first question to play as a team. First question, Negal. Afghanistan's 2 major languages are Dari and Pashto. Dari is similar to which language spoken in a neighboring country? I'll give you a hint. The neighboring country is currently in the midst of widespread anti-government protests over the death of a young lady who was arrested for wearing a headscarf improperly and for wearing tight pants. So that will give you a clue as to which country that is. And so what is the language spoken in that country? That's the question. You can discuss now.
I have the answer.
You have the answer, okay? Then Rishi, you must say our final answer is, and then say the
Our
answer.
final answer is Persian.
Your final answer is Persian, says Rishi. The neighboring country happens to be Iran, and you're absolutely right. That's 2 points to you there. It is Persian, or the other word is Farsi. Here is the second question under Afghanistan for Nagel. These two 6th century monumental statues were carved into the side of a cliff in the Bamiyan Valley in central Afghanistan, 130 kilometers northwest of Kabul. On orders from the Taliban, the statues were destroyed in March 2001 after the Taliban government declared they were idols. Whose statue or idols were these?
I think I have the answer.
1 minute, let's see what Neha has to say, or Elba if they have any guesses, and then you can come up with the final answer.
If he has the answer, he can answer right.
Okay, I'm going to ask Rishi. Okay, Rishi, go ahead.
My final answer is Buddha.
And your final answer happens to be absolutely right, Rishi. That's another valuable 2 points to you. It is the Buddha. These are the Bamiyan Buddhas, which was destroyed. They couldn't really break down the whole thing because it was so huge. Okay. And unfortunately, the faces have been damaged. Okay, so that leaves sporting deceptions under sports for Petit Seminaire, Puducherry. Question 1. In football, a deceptive move or a dribble that involves slipping the ball between your opponent's legs is known by the name of a common ground spice derived from the seed of the genus Myristica. Name the spice. Anagram means mixed up word.
Sir, I guess nutmeg.
You're going to say you think it's nutmeg.
Sure இருந்தா சொல்லு. Nutmeg தான.
Nutmeg, sir. Sure.
Nutmeg confirm பண்ணிடு.
Okay. So, Captain, you can use the words our final answer is and then give the answer.
My final answer is nutmeg.
Your final answer is nutmeg, says Ishwar for his team after a quick discussion. Let's take a look at the answer. Absolutely right. That you see there is an example of a nutmeg on top in football, and that's the actual nutmeg spice below. Well done. That's 2 points to you. Here is your second question on sporting deceptions. A term for a deceptive move or opening in chess where a player offers up a pawn or a piece for sacrifice to obtain an advantage later is derived from the Italian word for the act of tripping someone with the leg. A Netflix series with this particular word in its title won 11 Emmy Awards in 2020. Name this chess term or word.
Ishwar Gambit. Gambit.
So Shamindran is offering
Preetham.
the option of Gambit. Ishwar,
Gambit.
what do you think?
Gambit ನನ್ನ series இருக்கா Netflixல நீ தான் பாப்பியா?
எனக்கு தெரியல.
பிரீத்தம்
எனக்கு தெரியலடா. கேம்பிட்டா இருக்கா
இல்ல கேம்பிட் ஃபர்ஸ்ட் மூவ் ஒரு அட்வான்டேஜ் எடுக்கணும்னா அது கேம்பிட்னு சொல்லுவாங்க. சாக்ரிஃபைஸ்ன்றது வர அது என்ன இட்டாலியன் வேர்ட் சொல்றாங்க. கேம்பிட் கேம்பிட் யா. So my final answer is gambit.
Your final answer is gambit. I can tell you that the Italian word for your leg or thigh is gam or jam. The Netflix miniseries was The Queen's Gambit. So you are absolutely right. Your gambit played off Shamindran and you got your team a valuable 2 points. And that brings us to our final set of 3 questions each where anything can happen. Here are the choices. Mystery box, there are 3 questions which are general knowledge. Each question is 2 points, okay? No negative points, but only difference is if one team doesn't answer the question, it does not pass to the other team, okay? So these 3 questions are exclusively for a single team only, all right? So I'm going to ask Nagel Vidya Bhavan, which mystery box do you want to open? 1 or 2?
I would like to open mystery box 2.
Rishi has chosen mystery box 2 to play for Nagel Vidya Bhavan. You can play as a team along with Neha and Elba. Here is your first question. The sports company Spalding promoted what major change to tennis balls in the 1980s to improve television viewership, especially with respect to color TV? What did they do? What change did they make to tennis balls?
Our fine. I got the answer.
Yes, can you come up with the answer?
Our Our final answer is white stripes.
Your final answer is white stripes. No, that is not the answer I was looking for. Shamindran, for no points, but just a guess.
They changed the color of tennis balls.
From what to what?
From red. Red was the majority colors used in that times to green, I think. Yeah, green is the major color this time, right? So I think green.
Okay, so let's
From
take a
red to
look at
green.
the answer. You're very close. Your main aspect of the answer was correct. They changed the color, but originally tennis balls are white in color, and now they are this bright yellow. By the way, this particular shade of yellow used for tennis balls is called optic yellow. And the reason for it being called optic yellow, because it is easily visible to the eye on color television. Here is your next question, Nagel. Which style of hand-painted cotton textiles using only natural dyes from Sri Kalahasti and Machilipatnam in Andhra Pradesh is derived from the Persian words for pen and craftsmanship? Traditionally, they depict themes from the Ramayana and Mahabharata. What handicraft style is this?
Kalamkari.
And yes, you're absolutely right. It is kalamkari. Well done. Kalam means pen. Kari is to work. So workmanship with a pen is called kalamkari. That's another 2 points to you. And here is your final question in this quiz, Rishi and Nagel Vidya Bhavan. Which Olympic sport uses this as one of its two principal pieces of equipment? These stones have to come from a tiny Scottish island called Ailsa Craig. The other piece of equipment is used to facilitate the movement of this one on the ice. Hint, it is an anagram of Lungi CR.
Is it curling?
Absolutely right. It is curling. Well done to you. Here, take a look at this image. So the other piece of equipment is a broom, which they use to smoothen the ice so that the friction in front of the curling stone is less. So that's another valuable 2 points to you. Now we have our final mystery box, number 1, to be opened by Petit Seminaire. Let's open mystery box 1. Here is your first question. Which famous US university is named for a governor of Madras in the British Raj who served between 1687 and 1692? Very famous US university, American university.
Shamindran, Harvard.
Harvard governor of Madras.
Sir, is it Yale?
Okay, is that your final? You must say your final answer is.
My final answer is Yale University.
Your final answer is Yale University. After a brief discussion about Harvard, I can tell you that the governor of Madras at that time was Elihu Yale, and he contributed a set of books and a little bit of money, which became the foundation of what was later known as Yale University. Well done. That's a brilliant 2 points to you. Here is your next question. What counterintuitive thing did German film director Fritz Lang do for the first time in a film called The Woman in the Moon that has today become a standard part of space launch protocol around the world, done in the last few moments of the launch? So counterintuitive means if you go one way, counterintuitive means going the other way.
Ishwar, countdown. Countdown. Confirm answer is countdown.
Your final answer, I think Shamindran has jumped and he's decided that his final answer is the countdown. And yes, you're absolutely right. It is the numbers going in reverse, or instead of 1, 2, 3, 4, you go 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. And on that 0, I will give you 2 points for that answer. Petit Seminaire, well done. That is a very quick answer coming. And here is your final question. Which royally named venomous reptile is the only member of the genus Ophiophagus? So Ophiophagus means snake eater. Ophio means snake, phagus means to eat. It is 2-word answer and one of the words royally named.
King
Sir,
Cobra answer.
my final answer is King Cobra, sir.
Okay, they didn't need to think about anything, and their final answer, they say, is King Cobra.
King Cobra.
Well, King is royally named, and yes, you're absolutely right. You've done a clean sweep of that mystery box, and you get yourself another 2 points to end on a fantastic note there. Let's take a look at our final scores. At the end of that nail-biting quiz, photo finish literally, here are the scores. Nagal Vidya Bhavan on 17 points. But winning this quiz with a hair's breadth is Petit Seminaire with 18 points. And gentlemen, you move on to the next round, our quarterfinals. But thank you for playing, Nagal. You did extraordinarily well, and Rishi was the backbone of your team. Well played, Rishi. And on that note, it's a goodbye from Nagal Vidya Bhavan, and it's goodbye from Petit Seminaire. Thank you all for watching Smartacus.